Hi and welcome. I'm Jordan at Now Novel, and together we're going to explore 10 elements of what makes a good story. What makes a good story? Stories that take off of elements such as strong dramatic content, interesting structure and rhythm, believable, memorable characters, satisfying beginnings, middles, and endings, and intriguing, surprising story arcs. Keep watching for tips to make your story great with examples, and remember to click the subscribe button to be first to know when we share new writing tips and how-tos. First, great stories have strong dramatic content. Why is strong dramatic content important? It gives a story movement and momentum when who, what, why, where, and when change. Dramatic change gives a sense of journey or arc, and thus narrative suspense. Your reader asks, what will happen next? Dramatic content doesn't have to be melodramatic, like Snoopy as a writer beginning every story with "It was a dark and stormy night." Instead, it is any change process driven by goal, motivation, and conflict. What characters want, why they want it, and what stands in their way. Drama is movement, change, conflict, and reversal, such as the shifting challenges and unforeseen setbacks a dancer faces as they move from the practice room to the stage. Secondly, great stories have structure, a sense of rhythm in the way they unfold. We often speak of story arcs and character arcs, the sense of rise and fall to a character's progression from trial to triumph, or a story's rising and falling action. This is large picture or macro structure. What makes a story good is also microstructure, a sense of pattern, connection, variation at the scene or even sentence level. For strong structure and to make rhythm in your story dance, try studying approaches to dramatic structure such as 3-act structure, the hero's journey, and other forms. Think about what places, motifs, characters, or themes could recur. How will you vary their repetition to surprise, delight, unnerve, or move readers? Do some pre-planning for your story, even if you're a pantser. Having a skeleton in place will help you avoid getting stuck. The Now Novel dashboard can help with this. Find the link in the description below. Thirdly, great stories have believable, memorable characters, the kind of solo ensemble performance that makes readers want to give a standing ovation. Great characters are three-dimensional. Like us, they're driven by complex emotions such as desire and fear. Key ingredients to avoid cookie-cutter characters include a strong voice and viewpoint. Like Holden Caulfield's teenage angst, we know how the character sees the world. Intriguing goals. A combination of flaws and strengths that lend complexity or depth. Other descriptive elements to think about are what your character looks like, their mannerisms and quirks, and interesting origins, the way the past informs their actions now, plus the mystery of where your character's journeys, real or metaphorical, will take them. Fourthly, great stories are consistent in making each part effective. Each part of your story needs to lend to overall effect and cohesion, the beginning, middle, and end, whether you're writing nail-biting suspense or an intergalactic space opera. In a great story, the beginning lures readers in with a strong hook. For example, the small local football club dreams of the big leagues. The middle complicates the objectives, raises the stakes. There may be setbacks and turning points that make the ultimate objective or trophy seem more impossible. The climax or denouement, the resolution of the story, gives a fitting capping off. At the end of an Olympic event, we expect to see which athletes will climb the podium, to whom will go the glory. Keep watching as we're going to share how to deepen your story, make every line of dialogue count, and begin and end with a bang. The fifth element of what makes a great story is depth, or you might say nuance, levels, layers. One way to deepen a story is to use subplots. Say your character dreamed of leaving the big city to live on a farm, or vice versa. The primary plot may revolve around this goal, landing a hotshot legal job in the city or building a successful farm or ranch. What are secondary plot arcs that might emerge out of this change of place? How do new neighbors or strangers, challenges or wonderful discoveries impact your primary character's wishes, beliefs, decisions, and goals? Only connect, said E.M. Forster. This much is true. The sixth thing an effective story does is make every line of dialogue count. Well-written dialogue benefits your story in many ways. It builds character, quickens pace, tending to be faster reading than narration, drives story growth, supplies context that helps readers understand scenarios. It avoids fluff or filler and shows action and emotion. Check the links in the description for more on how to write dialogue and our focused dialogue course. Read dialogue aloud to catch anything that sounds unnatural. The ear doesn't lie. The seventh thing a good story needs is an immersive sense of place or setting. A detail or two may be all you need to create a busy restaurant kitchen setting, for example. The click of a lighter, the whoosh of gas, the aroma of something delicious, orders being shouted through the hatch. To make your setting immersive, use the senses. Ask what a viewpoint narrator can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. An eighth essential ingredient of every story is conflict and tension. To create tension and conflict for narrative suspense, bring together characters whose personalities clash, like the reality series Come Dine With Me, where characters host each other for dinner and arguments often ensue. Combine types of conflict such as internal, a person's inner struggle, and external, conflicts between people and their environments or society. Think in terms of yes, but. Where is the obstacle or opposition? The adventurers cross the river, but where is that crocodile? Find links in the description on ways to create gripping tension in your stories. Going back to the parts of a story, the ninth thing, already the first thing you need, is a beguiling beginning. When the reader stops at your story on a crowded physical or digital shelf, you need to hook them from the page 1 preview. A good beginning creates questions the reader wants answered urgently, hooks readers on your writing style, what makes your voice interesting, for example humor, chilling tone and mood, and so forth. It introduces a key character or scenario that teases what the story will be about or what the key conflicts may be. It promises your reader a meaningful experience, such as being moved, amused, terrified, or a combination of these and other emotions. It also, along with your cover design, gives an indication of the genre of your story. Lastly, great stories have satisfying or at least apt endings, even if bittersweet. The ending will either entice a reader to seek out other novels you've written or donate the book they've just finished. Don't let your book be clutter. End on a lingering impression. What makes a good story ending? A good story ending resolves the primary conflict of your story. The killer is caught or the adventurer reaches his destination, for example. It rises in tension before giving the reader release. It isn't so tidy that it's predictable or a cop-out, and it uses words that convey the sense of an ending. What do you think makes a good story? Tell us what you look for in a book in the comments, and remember to subscribe and click the bell icon to know when we share new writing videos. Thanks for watching.